How's it going? Name's Sadie, and... oh yeah, I'm back in the saddle with talking about one of my top 3 shooters, Ultrakill. More specifically back talking about something I still haven't seen many lore discussions actually cover at length even after a whole year and some change, the Secret Testaments. Now, I understand. They are a small part of the game, but these cryptic texts give us a peek into one of the least known or even talked about characters of Ultrakill's lore, God themselves. Now, for the seasoned veterans on my channel, you're probably asking me, Sandy, haven't you already talked about this? Why are you talking about it again? Well, there's 2 reasons. Reason number 1, new updates. The last video I made covering the Testaments was a whole microphone ago and before Violence of the Revamp came out. So, of course, I'm going to redo it with this new information, which, of course, leads me to, well, number 2. I don't like that old video. It was unscripted, sloppy, and contains microphone quality that I find as no mystery as to why most people probably didn't watch past 30 seconds. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, the Sharpshooter Pistol here. So, as you already... and of course, having replayed the whole game for the trillionth time probably has led me to a few new revelations, if you will. So with that out of the way, let's dissect Ultrakill's Testaments, and find out why God left to get milk in this universe. Our first testament is found in the Prelude in 0-S. You know, the level where you have to survive the running spaghetti man known as something wicked in the dark abyss of this facility's basement. Well, upon managing to do so, you are greeted by a terminal giving us our first testament. Mankind is a failure. Free will is a flaw. Let the evil of their own lips consume them. Then I shall begin again, with my word as law. So of course this first testament is very self-explanatory here. This is basically God, likely early into creating and reiterating this universe, more on that later, finding ways to make humanity into, well, less of a mess. Here he describes free will as a bug rather than a feature and says he'll just let this iteration of humanity destroy themselves so he can start again with a blank slate. It's not much, but it kind of gives God a bit of humanity itself. And this will continue with further testaments as you'll see, and I just find this unbelievably fascinating. Next up is 1-S, the puzzles. One for the mind, of course, but again, this is not for this video. Here, as our reward for completing the puzzles, we get our second testament. Failure after 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 failure. The results refuse to alter. Again and 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 again, my faith begins to falter. Here we have a little more of that reiteration I mentioned earlier. This one is quite clearly after countless attempts to perfect humanity, and with each attempt bringing some level of failure one way or another, and with each failed attempt leading to God doubting his own abilities. There's that humanity that I mentioned earlier too. For a being that is known for, well, being all-powerful, there's a level of humanness to it that you just wouldn't really expect. An all-powerful being, one that lives presumably longer than several billion universes, to begin to lose faith in themselves is just something I find, well, unusually interesting. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But anyways, we skip a few layers as there isn't really a testament within the second secret level, and now we go all the way to greed. More specifically to 4-S, the most annoying level. I hate this one. But upon just surviving that godforsaken level, you're greeted by yet another testament. Okay, fine, V1, you've earned yourself a dance, I don't care. Okay, testament time. Uncountable cycles of creation wasted. Uncountable formulas for our mind without free will wasted. Damned is man for failing to follow my rule, my word, my law. Damned to an eternity of torture and suffering. The wailing and the gnashing of teeth. I have created hell. And now I can no longer make it. This is, well, what I view as the point of no return. Some may first see this testament as figurative, as hell just being the current state of the universe, but it's actually, well, a lot more literal than that in this instance. God is here looking at his creation, failing more times than there are stars in the sky, no doubt, and as a last-ditch effort to whip humanity into shape, he creates an eternal place of damnation. He creates hell itself as a last resort, and as he said, you no longer undo it. Even if, well, in the long run, it's once again just another thing that's proven as a failure. But anyways, we now go to fishing in 5-S. I really have nothing clever here, just enjoy this quick montage of catching fish. Now we get our testament.
Father, why eternal torment? Is it not cruel? Is torture unending truly a fate fit for a fool? An angel so bright and beautiful asked me this, and I could find no answer. For I could never face the guilt of what I'd done, my regret, a gnawing cancer. In my hour of weakness, terror possessed me then, and I cast Lucifer too into the infernal den. Once I realized what I had just done, I could only weep as I sank slowly into the depths of despair. Deep. Oh, so deep.
Here we not only get confirmation that Lucifer is canon to this universe, but also the story of Lucifer's fall to the depths of hell. In this version, Lucifer simply asks the question of, why? Why create hell when humanity simply began to stray? Why were there no better options actually considered first? And when he couldn't answer, well, God just kind of chucked Lucifer down there as well in a moment of weakness, and now he can no longer undo it. Punishing someone, well, an angel no less, for questioning the creation of hell, all because he couldn't come up with an answer as to why. And I feel like that this was the moment that led to the angels that would soon become the angelic council to become so, well, zealous, for lack of a better word. I mean, I just want you to think about it. You're a divine being, power only rivaled by God themselves, and you hear that an angel got cast into the abyss for questioning your boss, and you know nothing else beyond that. You don't know how this divine entity is truly feeling, you don't know that this was just an hour of weakness, and you don't know why God even created hell in the first place, but you're not willing to question it. And you just suddenly catch wind that one of your buddies just got chucked in there for doing just that. Yeah, I kinda find it as no wonder as to why their view of the big man would soon morph into their leadership matching that of tyranny, when God was simply bogged down with his countless failures and now carrying the weight of damning an angel to hell on his back. It's kinda sad. And it really only gets more depressing with our final testament in 7-S. After cleaning the Library of Babel, we are greeted with our final testament.
I am hollow. My mistakes leave nothing but hate in their wake, and infinite pain to follow. I can't take any more of this guilt and regret. For me, there is no tomorrow. I am hollow. I began to seek the end of my days, but when I stared into the abyss averted its gaze.
Here we, well, kind of see God at his lowest, failing to perfect humanity, creating hell, and casting an angel to hell, and inadvertently causing his angels to view his will as one of unquestioning obedience to the status quo, have led him to likely attempt to destroy himself. But as he said, the abyss wouldn't take him, either because he just physically can't die, or as a consequence of something else entirely. He can't destroy himself. And something tells me that the Last Testament and Fraud may tell us not only the fate of God, but perhaps some final catalyst as to why he abandoned the universe altogether. But at the end of the day, that one's just a bit of a theory in my personal opinion, and no, I'm not going to do the game theory joke with this one. Do you really think I'm that low of a YouTuber? I mean, come on, I haven't fallen that far from grace yet. But let's conclude this, shall we? So for one of the smaller parts of the game, I just find it fascinating that not many people actually discuss this. Maybe because it's already kind of alluded within the rest of the game as to just, you know, like God having abandoned this universe. I'm one of those kinds of people that wants to find out why. Why did he leave? What led to him finally just getting up, giving up, and just kind of fucking off entirely? And that's what these kind of videos really just aim to do. Me just kind of trying to figure out why exactly someone like God would just kind of leave. And hopefully, whenever Fraud and Treachery end up coming out, and we get the secret levels for those, well, hopefully... Well, I was about to say, hopefully the Last Testament won't be depressing, but considering the fact that, well, our current last one is kind of really high up there on the, kind of really low scale, if you will, well, something tells me that the fate of God is probably not going to be very, very good. But anyways, that's going to do for this video. The standard stuff applies, you know, leave a like and do all that kind of stuff. And as always, thanks for watching.